Since then, a lot of things have happened in the football world, and we're going to have a little gander at them today. Since we've come back to our homes, England have been playing, haven't they, Freddie?
They've been, fuck me, playing.
Well, playing to stretch.
Mate, if that honestly, it's like I've said it about Norwich this season, and I find it hilarious that I'm even trying to compare England and Norwich in the same sentence, but that's just how bad it's been. I think to say what I saw against Hungary was to brand that as schoolboy defending. I think I'd be insulting schoolboys.
Yeah.
It's just, but Hungary at the end of the day, they had 5 shots on target. They had 4 massive chances. They took every single chance. John Stones was sent off it was ludicrous. But
that's an appalling decision.
No, it's disgraceful. The fact that VAR wasn't in use was just ridiculous. It's stupid. It is the worst decision I've seen in a long time. But
it doesn't mask the fact that we were absolutely shocking.
It doesn't matter. We got walked over by a team ranked like 40th in the world or 50th in the world. We lost home and away to Hungary. It's just when we're playing away to Hungary, it's like rough environment and all that. Yeah, but let's not forget. When it was a fully packed stadium with, men instead of 30,000 children, England beat them 4-0. We've been, the scoreline is reversed, and it's in the last 12 months, England, they've not really looked like a team in these last few months that have progressed. They don't look like a side that you sort of look at and you look at the progression that realistically on paper has been made, getting a World Cup semi and a Euro final. But, in a way, those games were branded as glorious defeats or a glorious failure. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We were too happy with getting to where we were at that point that it was branded as a glorious failure. And I do think a big part of the major disappointment with this game is just that because we've been so good the last sort of 5 years, I think people their sort of expectations maybe have been risen too much. But at the same time, you could be anyone in the world and lose 4-0 to Hungary, and you would get a bit of stick.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, the quality that England have in that team. The only single idea that we could have from that is that we don't care about the Nations League. We're testing out like tactics, formations, maybe, and we're just focused on the World Cup. Is that really plausible?
I think it's just really they're looking at the players and just trying to rotate with the players. They don't want anyone big getting injured before their pre-season sort of thing. But it's been a long season for all those players. But you look at some of the players who have had long seasons. We can use that excuse. Tammy Abraham's just come off one of the best seasons of his career. You've got Harry Kane has come off yet another remarkable season, despite at the start of it he didn't even want to play. And then you've also got the likes of all the other players that are in that team, and it's just I don't even know why Calvin Phillips was playing. He's been injured 2/3 of the season, and yet he's trusted. It just shouldn't be that way.
In that Hungary game, he was the worst player on the field, from my opinion, personal opinion.
I looked at like the BBC Sport player ratings. I think the highest rated player was a 3.1 for England.
Bloody hell!
Yeah, but that was because that's sort of decided by the public. The public are always gonna. There's been the reactions of should Southgate be sacked. It is a sackable offence in all fairness, but we got
who would you replace him with? That's the question. Who's
everyone will say Graham Potter, but he's not going to leave Brighton, is he? He's just got off the back of Brighton's best ever season. Exactly. No, he's not going to jump ship, is he? There's absolutely no point. And the only viable, well, I say viable option, the only option I can think of is Sean Dyche, because he's the only manager I know who's managed a Prem team who's sort of out of a job.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot give you, and I can't give you anyone else. That's the thing.
I mean, Sean Dyche. I mean, does that kind of spark negative football if he came in? I mean, like,
but look,
Burnley were quite well known for playing very negative football,
but then Southgate plays negative football as well. You just have to look at the way they played every single game. You know, it seemed every time Reece James got the ball, he would turn around and he would pass it backwards. Southgate is sort of notorious with, you know, a very conservative style of play. You know, he's not
safe.
one to exactly. Yeah, he'd much rather play. You know, look at the Euros in our group stage. What we scored 2 goals. 3 goals, was it?
Something like that.
And we didn't concede. I think we literally scored 2 goals and didn't concede. He's way more concerned about playing it safe and sneaking a 1-0 than he is going for a big brash scoreline. And he only gets big brash scorelines when he gets his piss easy qualifying games.
Yeah. I mean, the only good thing we can take away from a couple of these international games is that they were played at the Molineux. You know, and I thought it was criminal that Cody hasn't played any of them at the Molineux.
No,
criminal.
That is horrific. That's horrible.
Absolutely appalling.
It was appalling. And then, you know, it's so unfortunate that the Molineux is going to be synonymous with the worst England performance since 1928.
I know. Like, why did they have to pull that one out?
No.
And the fact we brought on Harry Maguire in like the 86th minute. Like, what's the point?
It's only, you know, he brought him on because it'd be like, oh, I'll just bring a defender on because, you know, we got a defender sent off. But you know, at the same time, what was it? I think it was already 2 or 3-0 at that point. There's no point bringing a defender on. You know, you might, you know, you're gonna lose. No, don't try and save yourself. There's no point.
It just kind of it once again highlights the negative and safe start. It's as if we didn't want to get more embarrassed. However, we went and conceded another because you brought on Harry Maguire.
Yeah, but it weren't even. You know, it weren't even that. You know, it weren't even Maguire. The 4th goal, you know, it's barely. I don't even know. I can't be asked. I just can't be bothered with it at this point. You know, it's a disgrace that we ended up in that scenario. You know, we're meant to be the 5th best team in the world, and we're getting smacked 4-0 on our own turf by Hungary. It's the first time we've lost to Hungary since 1963 in England. Haven't had that big of a loss since the 1920s. You know, it's just, it's unbelievable. It's literally, you know, it's like I've said, you know, Big Alf was probably kicking about when England last lost 4-0.
Big Alf, yeah. Well, he was still alive then. I don't think he was kicking much, but I must admit, I don't think he was kicking much.